Do you
Luke.
Show of the weekend, show of the weekend, show of the weekend, show of the weekend, show of the weekend. Man, that was the worst intro we've ever done. How was that?
This is what happens when you don't agree. You didn't talk. We were like, let's just go for it.
Well, I don't even know what we're talking about today. Yeah. Why have you summoned me here?
Because I've seen
Ghosts. That's right. You were.
No, I've seen the new SpiderVerse film, and it's really good, and I want to talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man, and things are going great.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to be here at 5.
All right, whatever.
Whatever?
Wow.
Whatever?
I haven't seen it because I don't go to the cinema anymore. And if I say it like that, it makes it sound like a choice.
Yeah.
I don't go to the cinema. Bit passé.
I have this thing.
What was it like? Did you
free
have fun?
time?
Did you have a nice time?
Yeah, I did. Really
Did you eat
good.
popcorn?
I did eat lots of popcorn.
Oh, I love eating popcorn so much.
In fact, I like.
Well, I can make popcorn at home.
Well, yeah.
I always burn it. But I can make it.
Yeah.
And then I can eat it even though it's burned. Every mouthful like ash in my mouth.
No, I really enjoyed it. I went and saw it on the Thursday night. So it was out June the 2nd on the Friday.
Okay.
But, you know, cinemas were also showing it
Yes.
as previews on the Thursday night. And so I went with a couple of friends because we were like, we have to see it now. As of recording, I'm going to go and see it again tonight.
Really? Wow.
At the BFI IMAX, the big one at Waterloo.
Dang,
in
that'll be
London.
so
It's
big.
like, because I was
The
just
biggest
like,
Spider-Man.
I went and saw it and it was so beautiful. And I was like, I need to see this again, but massive.
As big as possible.
As big as I can possibly, as big as my eyes will allow.
So what do you wish to impart about it? And to the viewers at home, other than it's good, which I sort of thought it would be anyway.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you liked the first one, you will also like this one. If you loved the first one, you will love this one. But I think it's an interesting film because it's real proof, yet again, it's not even the first film to prove this, but it's the proof that animation is not just for children. Animation is for everyone. I'm avoiding spoilers, so don't worry if you haven't seen it already. This is your call to go see it. The things that they get to do in this film, because they use animation, are wild. Now, I absolutely adore the MCU films. I think they're great. I think Tom Holland's great in it. The latest one was amazing. But the animators can do wild things. Like, absolutely just go off the scale. Spider-Verse also goes one step beyond, to quote Madness. I think there's a Twitter account where it's like every frame a painting and it shows like the amazing cinematography.
I know it. Yep.
Literally every frame is a painting. They're able to do so many things. So for the opening, no story spoilers, but like there's a bit where you spend time as an audience with Gwen Stacy and her universe. The world around her, the palette changes depending on her mood.
Oh, cool.
And how she's reacting to a situation. So if she's like happy or feeling loved, everything is like warm and orange colours and sunny. But then if she's like scared and unsure of herself and like worried at any point, everything is like quite washed out and blues, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
That you're like, this is great. I love this. More this. Num 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 num. Please, thank you, Sony. Num 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 num.
You were so right about that thing about it does free directors up. I'm glad you mentioned the sort of live action MCU films.
Yeah.
Because it always gets on my nerves a little bit how those films, even when they're really fun and cool, for the last 45 minutes, it is always a big fight in a featureless CGI landscape.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
everything
a featureless.
Green screen.
Yeah, sometimes it's usually a desert.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's
we'll
just
say
like...
that the latest one did have like a cool landmark in it, but again, it was sort of like adjusted so that it would be easier.
A featureless CGI
well,
landscape.
basically, there's a big thing and they fight around it, but it's got a bunch of scaffolding around it. So when you do close-ups, they're at least like standing on scaffolding in front of green screen. So, yeah.
But like in an animated film, then you're like, all right, well, we'll just animate the freaking coolest thing you ever did see. It makes me think of like the Netflix Castlevania series, which just has has like, I've gone back and
Outstanding.
rewatched just the fights from that.
Yeah.
And you're just watching it and you're like, it's so unbelievable. Combat and fighting just has such a natural home in animation.
100%.
Like, just when things move all elastically and sort of,
and that's like
when swords go
perfect
bendy and
for Spider-Man.
The camera's good.
Like all the different, because you meet a whole bunch of different Spider-Meese.
Spider-Meese.
That's the plural of men.
No cheeses for us Spider-Meeses.
Each of them is animated slightly differently. So, warning, if you're from London, SpiderPunk is going to be your new favourite Spider-Man.
Okay.
It's played by Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh, cool.
And
Great.
is the coolest new character ever. His animation style is very different from the others. They all have their own style. And like, you can't do that in live action. And it's just a feast for the eyes, and definitely really fun to like be like, oh, I recognise that one, and then that one, and that one, that one, that one. It's just perfect for Spider-Man fans, and especially being able to do that animation style, you wouldn't be able to do
mostly
that.
grown adults.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. And this film like is suitable for kids. Kids will enjoy it, but like this film, hang on, I've got some numbers here. Made $17.35 million in previews on the Thursday night, at least as far as I know in the US box office. The previous Into the SpiderVerse was 3.5 million. So for me, I'm thinking a lot of those people who went to previews are people like me who are like, I have to go now because I can't have it spoiled for me. Also, the second biggest opening in 2023 behind the Super Mario Brothers movie. So the top two films in the box office this year are animated films. Also, we'll say Super Mario Brothers. I went and saw that with my mum and sister. We're all adults. We had the best time. There's stuff in there for kids like Mario, whatever, but like there were a lot of really funny things that they could do within that animation. Being able to have a fantasy world, like I love the original Marios.
I mean, so now you're losing me, Ellen, because I much prefer the Bob Hoskins
but I think, I don't know whether my mum and sister would have got the same kind of thing from that. I don't know. It's wild. It's made 120.5 million in its opening weekend domestically in the US. Worldwide 208.6 million.
Okay.
Like there is an appetite for animated movies like this.
Yes.
And we need more of it.
What this is all making me think, Ellen, what you're making me realise, because I've always been a fan of animated movies, and like any right-thinking individual, I've never believed that they are, even the ones that are made primarily for kids, are not just to be enjoyed by kids.
No.
You know, I've always, thought that like the coolest animated stuff was, aimed at everyone, aimed at adults. And when I was younger, I loved watching animated movies for a mature. I'm trying to think of a way of saying this without saying I've watched a lot of anime.
Yeah.
But I think I should probably just say I've watched a lot of anime.
Same,
yeah. I think that if I say it in that tone, it feels more. I've watched a lot of anime. So like I get it, but what this conversation is making me realise is that actually, in my mind, I've said like, well, obviously animated films are brilliant and lots of people should watch them. But I realise now, Ellen, that we should go a step further and we should say that films that aren't generally animated should be, because they'd be better. What I'm saying, Disney, if you want me to be interested in Star Wars again, look, we're all feeling a little burned out on it, right? Make the new trilogy animated. Can you imagine how cool, how good that could look?
Yeah.
That'd be so awesome.
A lot of the animated TV series have been really well received. I know that James is a big fan of them.
But why do we accept that like animation lives in kids' films and like Japan and like occasional we'll occasionally do a Spider-Man or whatever and stuff and like TV shows. But like, why do we? I don't know. Animation is so good. I like it so much. The biggest budget, most hyped films that are being made should be animated ones. Because do you think, honestly, that the new Star Wars would be better if it was animated? I do.
Yeah.
It would look cooler. They could do cooler stuff. Imagine the lightsaber fights in the Castlevania style.
Oh my god. yeah.
Oh.
You want to know? You want to know who agrees with you, Luke, in regards to like animation being used more?
Ellen, I always want to know who agrees with me.
Well, it's iconic filmmaker Guillermo del Toro,
Wow.
the Pan's Labyrinth director, Shape of Water, and most recently his animated version of Pinocchio, which he got a BAFTA for. And at the BAFTA Awards was like, we need to make sure that, you know, people know that it's not just for kids. Animation is for everyone.
It's a medium for art. It's a medium for film.
He said, Luke's right about Star Wars should be animated. Make it like Castlevania, he said.
Yeah.
And they were confused because we haven't recorded this yet.
Yeah. Well, like Guillermo del Toro is also really, really excited about the SpiderVerse. He loves it.
He's generally a pretty big advocate for geek culture stuff,
Oh,
isn't he?
in
Like
general.
So he sort of speaks up for video games and stuff as well, doesn't he, often?
Yeah, like, well, his Twitter bio, it just says, animation is not a genre, it's a medium. And then,
okay.
Well,
Well,
and he was really pushing
now I'm annoyed
SpiderVerse.
because he's put it better than I do.
And he was like, if you love animation, go. If you want to love animation, go. Be there, be counted. And looking at the box office numbers, people have shown that we want more cool films like this because it's just so good. Like, I came out of the new SpiderVerse with my friends and we were all like, if that doesn't get an Oscar nomination for Best Film, we riot, right? I know the Oscars aren't the only film that people were like, if they just, like, cause they've got their animated one and they kind of just like, oh yeah, you're all in there. There hasn't been like a Best Film for an animated like nomination for a while. One of the recent Oscars, they came out, there were 3 of the live action princesses from the new Disney films going, oh, like animation's great, and like all the parents who have to watch the same films over and over and over again. And like some of the nominees were like, excuse me. The director of The Mitchells and the Machines, outstanding film if you've not seen that, add that to your list. Please don't like see animation as the thing that you just use to distract the kids. Like, it's an amazing thing. I think there's a lot of frustration within the community of animators. There's some extremely talented people doing some extremely cool stories that you can't do in any other medium. So go watch it if you can in the cinema, go support it, take everyone to go see it again. I'm going to see it twice, so yeah, do it. It's really good. It's really good. I want to adopt Miles. He's so sweet.
What's an animated film that you think people may not have seen that you think people should go and watch?
Okay, well, I've already mentioned Mitchells and the Machines. Outstanding film. I would also recommend, if you've not seen it, Kubo and the Two Strings, which is a stop-motion one. Cool. It is so beautiful. It's a feast for the eyes, very similar animation style to Pinocchio. I cannot recommend it enough.
What do you think?
I guess I'd back up your point about Star Wars. Say the Bad Batch, the series that's been on, and the shorts, the Tales of the Jedi.
Nice. I'll pick Princess Mononoke, which loads of people have seen, but it's
Classic
quite
one.
old now. But it's my favourite Ghibli film.
It is a good one, yeah.
It's my favourite one.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
And of course, anyone who is interested should definitely go and watch Akira.
Oh,
if they haven't watched Akira, like,
find your nerdiest friend and be like, what anime should I watch? And they will be like, well, Vampire Hunter D, oh, that's a good one. Or
Me, Mike and Andy went to a screening of Redline at the Prince Charles Cinema, which is a deeply weird and quite stupid anime film about like sci-fi racing, and it's such a good time. It's exactly my vibe.
But yeah, I think the numbers from the SpiderVerse box office, all of the amazing reviews and everything is just, goes to show that if you let people tell the sort of stories, the wild stories they want to, which is perfectly done in animation, you can draw or animate whatever you want. Like, if it comes into your imagination, you can make it happen. It's funny, it's heartfelt. Go watch it, go watch more animation. There you go.
Ellen's absolutely right. The new Star Wars should be animated. Thanks for watching Show of the Weekend, folks.
Bye! Web.
How did we make it this far without doing web?
Web.